Hey, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing great and that everybody had a very good weekend over the weekend. I just wanted to come by, and today's topic is all about having a clear blueprint for autoimmune reversal, and it's not what you think. So, I just want to start out by saying small talk, the weather, right? The gratitude, all the things that we have available, sometimes we take for granted. And really, you guys, being sick with autoimmunity can sometimes dampen our days for sure. Because I know many of you guys are experiencing lots of pain, lots of debilitating fatigue, the brain fog, and everything feels so heavy in the body. I was thinking about how autoimmunity, when it strikes, how it makes you really feel. And it really zaps the energy and the joy and the livelihood out of you, so much so that sometimes the inspiration completely goes. Okay. And so I just wanted to take a moment to really look around and focus on the things that we can focus on to move us into an elevated consciousness. And you guys, seriously, it's the hardest thing you'll ever do, especially when it sucks for you physically. When all the things are sucking you dry and everything is just like pulling you down with so much pain and so much fatigue and so much of everything, not to mention all the side effects of what that impact has in your life with your relationships, your financial struggles, right? And then just the health crisis kind of puts a funk in your mental state. You guys, this is why I do the work I do, because I get it. And it gets really, really super duper hard. And I say this because I believe, anecdotally, for me, the COVID vaccine caused a flare, a minor flare, but it was bad enough for me to really experience just how bad some of you guys might be going through. The fatigue, the muscular aches, I mean, all at the same time. Soon after the COVID, I got my puppy, right? I got a Cavapoo. I had a Cockapoo, wanted to adopt another one. So I got the Cavapoo. I made like a 15-hour dog. And I remember this day. It was a few days, 3 days after my COVID vaccination. And I remember feeling so tired and run down. And the fatigue after that trip, it felt like unrelenting, debilitating. That took all the liveliness away from me. I've never experienced that kind of a flare in over 20 years of living with autoimmunity. So my hands and prayers go out to those of you who do live with musculoskeletal pain. I do think there is something to be said about the cytokine storms, the mast cell activation. There's been a lot of patients that's come my way who have lived with various versions of such immunological upheaval. And that's kind of really hard to kind of settle down once the fire gets going, right? So I just want you to understand that for me, I can mental through just about anything, but this fatigue has been something that has been hard to shake. Having said that, I also recently received devastating news about one of the rebels, lupus rebels, that passed away. I don't know all the details, but she was a student of mine, and I don't know if it was due to lupus. I know that she was going through some hard times physically, but we found out 2.5 weeks ago. And so that's been like really wearing down and making me real sad. And as a fellow autoimmune patient, it feels very close to home. And this really made me reflect more about my life and what's truly important. And the last thing I want to represent is a perfect life. Here's what I live by, right? I know that life is full of ups and downs, the good and bad, sickness and health. The key is to embrace all the shades of the rainbow that life throws at you full-heartedly by showing up courageously. And it's when we don't know how to cope with, especially the negative feelings, that we tend to hide behind our self-destructive coping mechanisms. And I just want to sit here and recognize physical symptoms can really alter and take us spiral down this route is why I have the program that I do, is why Mind Your Health podcast exists, is why autoimmune health transformation exists, because we want to transform suffering into joy. We want to transform pain into freedom, and we want to transform fear into courage. Because in psychology, we now understand the drivers of human actions. Our thoughts trigger some feelings inside of us, and the feelings drive us to make choices. And it's the cumulative choices we make day in and day out that makes us who we are. So our very lives reflect what we're thinking, feeling, and the choices that we make. So being mindful of cleansing our mind to clutter is key ingredient in our healing journey. So I just want you to sit there for a minute and close your eyes about what riddles you. What mental state are you in? What are the constant go-to feelings that you feel day in and day out? Are you overburdened with lots of anxiety and fear? Are you bombarded with suffering and pain? Do you struggle so debilitates and paralyzes you? I know the feeling all too well. Knowing this, I've been on a quest to holistically heal my autoimmunity for the last 20 years. And I just have to tell you, I've tried it all. But I also must be completely honest in saying that it wasn't any one thing that allowed me to defy all the odds and heal despite. It was the artful and intentional integration of transformative psychology, which includes the subconscious and the conscious mind, as well as the coaching aspects to coach myself through the process. And then the second is applying the modernized functional medicine and timeless wisdom principles that I was able to apply in my daily life. Notice, not just know, but to apply in my daily life that got me where I am today, serving and helping thousands of people from all over the world to truly transform their life and health, right? This clear-cut blueprint is what we apply in our autoimmune health transformation program, which is a 12-month healing journey to live life on your own terms. We utilize this collectively. It's called the Alkaline methodology. And the Alkaline method brings together all my educational, experimental, anecdotal, and personal experiences in what's worked as well as what didn't. But most importantly, it's an integration of all the symptoms that are often compartmentalized as pieces of the broken puzzle in our so-called medical industrial complex. The medical industrial complex consists of more than a dozen major components, and they are the hospitals, nursing homes, physicians, salaried and fee-for-service, as well as home health agencies, supply and equipment manufacturers, drug companies, insurance, health insurance companies, managed care organizations, etc. I truly believe we need a defense against the medical industrial complex whose main motive is to keep us sick. That's the economical benefit side, right? We need to flip this ineffective model upside down to provide the patients with power and control to be self-empowered healers. And that's exactly what the Alkaline Method does. It's founded on the premise that healing is an inside job. Its main goal is to cultivate more self-empowered healers to rise and take control over their health and lives from sickness and the medical industry. So how do you do that? Well, the Alkaline Method has 4 essential elements. First element is the subconscious mind, which sets the basis, the foundation, the alignment, and then the core values with its pillars. And you have to understand what you stand for, who you are from the inside out, as opposed to living your life like a puppet dictated by what everybody wants you to do, right? And so this is where you really get clear about who you are. The second element is the conscious mind, understanding that life is full of polarity and contrast. And as we move through life and really accepting of all the colors of the rainbow, we breathe to stay present. And then finally, to apply balance, which is ultimately self-love. That's the second element. And then the third element is the modernized functional medicine, which involves three essential things that may be perpetuating your autoimmunity, as well as to apply all the modernized science evidence practices into everything that we do, which involves the stress, gut, and the immune brain pillars of the modernized functional medicine. The last element is all about the timeless wisdom, promoting internal healing through yoga, energy medicine, and mind cleansing methods such as silence, meditation, and hypnosis. I collectively call this the spiritual growth. The application of the alkaline method is so much more simple than complex. I believe we tend to make things much more complicated than it needs to be when we think about healing. But through the daily practice of the alkaline method, one can aim to live a life full of hope, courage, joy, freedom, health, and longevity. The ultimate goal is to be internally guided versus externally guided. Move from dependency to independence and freedom, from fear to faith. You want to know more? Well, we have elevated conversations in our private group, the Tribe of Autoimmune Health Rebels, and I am hosting a free autoimmune health retreat in my private group. The link is below to sign up to get started. It starts on June 14th, where I take you through the 4 days of living the solution, applying the alkaline method, where you know what to do to move through your day, to incorporate healing yoga, healing meditation, as well as to gain some clarity in what you should be eating, as well as what you may be doing to perpetuate your autoimmunity. As a bonus, you also get 7 days of anti-inflammatory diet that's super easy for you to follow. All you have to do is sign up below and join me on June 14th, 11 a.m. It's going to go until the 17th because it's a 4-day health retreat. It's virtual, completely free. And I'll be showing you through how you can live the solution every single day. And so I hope to see you there. Over 1,000 people have already said, yes, I'm in. And we get all the things. And Friday before, you'll get the workbook, as well as to prep yourself for the 7 days coming ahead to get on the anti-inflammatory diet. Most of the people that go through my program recognize what a drastic difference when the inflammation goes down, to really follow a step-by-step protocol where it keeps you in line and really clears everything for you. It's the ultimate detox for the mind, body, and spirit. So join me, sign up below, completely free, and I hope to see you. And if you really enjoyed this podcast, I would really, really appreciate it if you can write us a 5-star review and let us know and spread the word so that you can share this message, because the algorithms, the more of you who can really voice your need, the more we can perpetuate the good news that healing is an inside job. So be a part of this movement, and let's really come together to really break out of the barriers that we have up against our autoimmune war. I'll see you guys all soon in our healing retreat, and I'll see you guys all next week. Thanks for joining in. Bye-bye.